Okay. I don't know if you're aware, but tonight MTV started their 18 hours of no programming at all. They just ran out of ideas. No, I'm kidding. They wanted to make a point about hate crime, so they have a black screen with just a scroll of victims of hate crimes that goes over and over again, 18 hours. I've said many times I don't think there should be such a thing as hate crime. I know that gets the liberals upset, but you know what? A crime is a crime.
A crime is a crime.
Right. That's exactly right.
You think so?
I agree with you. Yeah.
I mean, it's a hate crime is a thought crime.
I mean, I'm not sure I care why you hit me with the bat. I mean, you know, it's not really important to me why you did it. What I care about is that my brains is on the pavement.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
But if there's some guidance in how sentences should be meted out for what level of crime, I mean, if someone is stealing for money, then they probably haven't got a lot of money. You know, you could probably say that. Very few rich guys go out and hit people over. But if you're doing it just for hate, because you hate someone, their color, you hate them because of their sexuality, then maybe there should be guidelines on that, you know, just to, because there's going to be judges who get in there and say, well, you attacked, like in the South, you know, people...
But doesn't that presume, I mean, being a Southerner, doesn't that presume that the judicial system is somehow not that way now? They give out different sentences based on color and sex and race right now.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
My point being that, so if it's legislated, it's all of a sudden going to be different. You know, they're going to go, oh my God! Now that we've got it written in the books, let's really get it right. I don't. But
no, but they have to, because it's in the legislation. Then they are guided by the rules, and they're saying, well, you've got to treat this differently. The guy who hit someone over the head for $10, okay, that's in one area, and you give out 6 months or whatever it is a year, and someone who
but unimportant, aren't you on some level legislating morality? Aren't you on some level saying, I know what's going on in that guy's head. I know why he did it now. I understand his guilty mind.
Well, you would prove that in the court process, surely.
Yes,
not as important as the outcome.
The question is, can we really prove anything in the court process? I mean, hasn't the court process taught us one thing, and that is that we don't really know what's going on? I hit you, and it's...
Well, do you really need to know? What you need to know is the outcome. The crime should be assessed based on what it's done to the victim, not so much the intent of the person.
And the court process, I think, proves more than anything that the truth is not really what matters. It's who has the better lawyer.
The important thing is that...
And who can fool a jury just the way... campaign ads fooled the electorate into thinking George Bush has integrity. But it's true. But it's true. I mean, money to buy people who know how to convince those people can do anything.
What about Al Gore's commercial linking George Bush to the James Byrd murder?
I didn't vote for Al Gore. Hold on, so you know what? You're not going to get me on that one.
Did you vote for Al Gore? I'd really like to.
All I said was Bush has no more integrity than the other bastards. Okay? So stop shoving this down our throats like the Bush family is the royal family and they're untouchable. They're not. They're the same. They're just as bad. That's all I was saying.
Well, I think it's interesting. It's good that that MTV, this network, is devoting 18 hours to whether it's crime or hate crime or whatever. The fact that they're doing a blackout and all these kids that would normally be watching Eminem and Britney Spears are going, gee, I wonder why all these names are scrolling there, and then they start thinking about it, and they maybe go to the school the next day and start talking about it.
I doubt it. I bet you they turned the channel to VH1. And then, you know...
I mean, God forbid.
No, but until the Eminem "We Hate All Fags" video comes back on.
In which case, you got to get that
hate crime.
Well, the point is, does anyone have information here, which I doubt we can instantly bring up, that says whether there's a discrepancy between victims of hate crimes and the punishments meted out and victims of burglaries and whatever, or, you know, just muggings and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, because in some states where they have some states have hate crime laws like that. Lots of states do.
I think 33 states have hate crimes legislation.
But the ones that don't, I mean, if you could say, and you could prove right here that, okay, this guy, he got hit over the head and it wasn't bad, and he was robbed for whatever money, and this guy was...
robbed for his orientation.
Yeah, his orientation, and the crime, and the punishments were different. I mean, I just don't know what the figures are.
But it's not going to deter anybody. You think a hate crime is going to be stopped because a guy goes, oh, man, you know what? We shouldn't really string this guy up because they're going to get us on the hate
They're going to hate thing, and then that's 10 more years that I can't really deal with that.
Right, because, you know, I'm the kind of guy who thinks that way. Being a neo-Nazi to begin with, I'm going to calculate that in.
Well, and the other scary thing about it to me is that ultimately you're asking 12 presumably sane people to put themselves in the mind of a person who's committed a hate crime and trying to understand why he did it in order to give that person a sentence. which
Yeah.
which doesn't seem
Yeah,
possible.
it's almost giving the guy too much credit, the hater.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you don't...
who cares what's in his head? Just get rid of his
Send
head.
him to jail.
Yeah, get rid of the head.
I don't need the fact that he did it is enough for me.
I could actually take your points on this, you know, but my thing is, how would you stop hatred?
You can't. What do you mean, how would you stop hatred?
No,
We're
that's my
people.
thing.
We're humans.
Eddie,
We
if
will
I had
never
the
stop.
answer, I'd be
do
out of
hate
entertainment
slightly
into
less.
that.
Like in Europe, being a European, we used to murder each other every day. It was our thing.
And us too.
We had, from Alexander the Great...
Europe has way more hate than we do.
Well, exactly, but we don't actually murder each other with tanks so much anymore. And so somehow our hate has gone down a tad.
Because
Yeah.
tanks are
Just-
expensive.
What? No, it isn't. We love getting into tanks. I mean, Alexander the Great up to World War II, 2,500 years of murder. And we're brilliant at it, and we've given it up now.
Well, also,
Right.
Britain, the police don't have guns.
Tell that to the people
whole,
in Kosovo. You know.
I know, well, that was
There
the
was
last...
quite a hate crime. There was a state-sponsored hate crime that went on.
Well, I know, but that was the last bits of the jigsaw trying to put Europe together. Now Serbia sort of clicked in, as you'll probably know.
Oh,
Wow.
good. Well, now that we got that all
Actually,
done.
I think the people
live
getting
there.
more in touch with God, actually.
Oh,
I
do
do.
we
I
have
do.
to bring him
Give it-
into
yeah,
this all
give
the
it to me.
time?
Just go ahead and give it to me.
Run the
God.
Yes, I do.
we've got
I think
more in touch with
people
God.
getting more in touch with God results in a greater love for their fellow human being. I do think that, Bill Maher. But it's them.
All right, I got to get in touch with a commercial. We'll be right back. Okay, Cyndi, you were mentioning
I was
God,
mentioning,
and
yeah.
I wonder if you heard about this court case that's been going on in Indiana. This woman was answering and I guess exiting phone calls at her business with the phrase, "Have a blessed day," which I've heard a lot of people say, and I usually hang up. And they fired her, and she's suing because they said that's religion and it can't take place on company time.
Well, first of all, it's not necessarily religious. She says has a blessed day. I mean, who knows what she's talking about when she says that? I mean, I don't... Second of all...
She knows God, but
No, I'm serious. I don't know this
explicitly say
woman.
that.
I mean, I'm just taking off what you're saying. I have no idea.
I think it is. As a non-religious person, I don't find that a big problem in my ear. Someone said that, I just think, I mean, you know,
Who's
have a good
listening?
one.
If a Jewish person said to me, shalom,
Yeah,
I would
I'd take it
consider
in
it
good
a very
faith.
nice thing.
Well, first of all, shalom is like saying mahalo for a Hawaiian person. It's not a religious meaning at all.
But if it were
Shalom just
Assalamu
means
alaikum.
goodbye, hello, or peace.
Peace.
Have a
That's
blessed
a
day
religious
means
kind of
something very
concept.
different. That has, we all know,
What
you
does
can
it
say
mean?
what you want, but we all know she means Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Okay, fine. But here's the thing, Bill. Here's the thing. If she, let's say she does mean that, fine. We've confirmed that she does. What are the two people? I don't understand what the boss and what the girl, I don't understand what the problem is.
Because she's saying it as a business person on a phone at the business company to other people.
So
and
if those are the problems in your business, I mean, that's not a problem. So what? Who's listening to her anyway? She says, have a blessed clue.
But no, I think the big thing is she, it's from a computer sales job. Is she shifting computers? I think that's the big Have a blessed day,
I mean,
another sale down. Should
I
be
think,
kept
I
on.
think she should be able, in her freedom, to talk to coworkers like that in off hours. But I do think, even though I applaud her Christianity, I think she's probably a delightful person. I'd love to work with her. I do. I think she's probably a wonderful person.
But she's
I
suing
think-
the company. Like, is that something
Well,
to
they
sue?
No,
fired
wait a minute. They gave her a letter of reprimand. And I think that company probably regrets that now. I understand they're going to settle it. That's my impression of it. But I do think an employer has the right to set parameters of how their employee communicates to the clients, because that employee
you
represents...
can make employees say things like, welcome to Blockbuster.
That's right.
Why did
That's
she
the-
say that?
Because she doesn't work there.
But it'd be fun.
But what she says, which is I find objectionable in all these kind of arguments, is that I'm not taking anything away from anybody by saying that, but I disagree. I mean, I like pornography.
Please.
But if
Along with the 86%
but if I hang up a
rapists who
picture
are
on my
usual
cubicle, and I have a cubicle here, I could say I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but we all know I would be sued for sexual harassment.
And rightly so.
But you'd have to hand the pornography to someone and say, have a
No,
blessed day.
absolutely
Make it
not.
available.
And you would have. It would be blessed.
All right. I have to take a break. Have a blessed day.
Join us tomorrow when our guest will be the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, comedy legend Martin